Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ De Palma, with the better host, Claire Bays, the bestest host, Claire Bays. Good morning.
That's right.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm better today than I have
Better.
been basically all week.
Mhm.
Even on our show on Monday night, I did not feel well, but then
You were on the decline.
oh yeah. Yeah, Wednesday was like the worst sick day I've had in a long time. I think I texted you and told you, like I took my meetings, and if I wasn't in a meeting, I was asleep. It was nasty. But anyway, we're on the mend.
On the mend.
Cough drops are prepared in case I start to go off the rails, which might happen.
I was working last night, and there's like all of a sudden at like 11 or midnight, I just got this like scratch in my throat that like would not get like resolved. Like it didn't hurt to swallow, but it was just itchy, like almost like a massive allergy attack. But I didn't get any stuff like congestion, and it's like just a little there now, but it came on hard in my. I can hear it in my voice that it's like even more raspy than normal.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So
good morning to everyone in the comment section. They're already having their chats.
Everyone's having a chat.
Oh, sure. Yes.
All right. So we'll start with legends.
Okay.
And like I said to Claire, I have too many athletes there competing to go off the rails and be there. I hope the waterfall doesn't get caught. It's a 14-minute difference, so I can't imagine that it's going to be caught, but it looks like it's long enough, right? Everyone's it's long. So the heat times are 14 minutes apart. It's a pretty long time for the amount of calories that they're doing. So hopefully they won't get caught. Hopefully that goes well. Hopefully the machines don't break, the ski ergs and the rope and whatever. And so that's it. Hopefully the stream goes well with Sevon and them. I hope that they do a good job. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, I hope they, I feel for them if they, I don't know. We'll see. We'll
they
know
release
soon
the
enough.
calories in the middle of the night. I'm going to buy it as soon as we get off this. Just
you have too many athletes competing to not.
Yeah. And so I don't know.
But it's a tough situation for a lot of people to be,
Yep. So.
Because that's almost like a pay-per-view, Like I'm trying to think of like comparison, I mean, with many other sports, you do pay for television subscriptions and
I don't mind paying. It is what it is. I want to support.
Isn't it like $30?
It's $30. I mean, it's kind of steep for a weekend. Well, I mean, I think technically $30. It's a monthly subscription.
Okay.
And it covers NorCal, like whatever Sevon and them are doing. Like Flowlead has a few competitions like after this that are being included in that subscription, which I think includes the Masters Games, which would be wild. It's yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did you see that Hiller, this is not that he posted the whole from their Instagram account last night and went to it and was like, oh, not that many posts back. It had this post. And Sevon usually goes ham on those. So I was like, oh man.
The Masters Games is crazy. I just want to be super clear. The Masters Games, Flowlead covering that would be insane. Like just from an HQ standpoint. I don't know. I heard that, but I don't know. Then I didn't hear the Masters Games again. Anyways, so it's Magic City. So anyways, yeah, I mean, I'll pay it. I mean, even though I'll be there, I'll pay it for a couple months or whatever. It's not a big deal. So anywho, if you guys support it, Avera said Sevon and them, obviously it's very known that Avera doesn't like Sevon, which is fine. I think they do a good job putting on events. I think he does a good job doing events. So if you guys are considering it, you should do it. Kevin, I don't know how long you've been in CrossFit, but Flow Elite, this is how I used to watch Wodapalooza. You used to have to pay for Wodapalooza back in the day. And so this was like Wodapalooza, maybe up to like 17. This is they were the only company besides.
Let me ask back then, just because we know me and my memory are sometimes questionable. What was the coverage like?
Oh, Flowly was terrible back in the day. But to be fair,
Mhm.
the ability to cover back then was like didn't have things like StreamYard, like just YouTube stream because it was on their own platform.
Yeah, and you do
YouTube
have
streaming
Savon and
wasn't.
crew walking around, and they have experience getting on the floor and
Yeah,
getting those
it,
shots and,
the
um
biggest thing, but to pull in bandwidth and tethered equipment to like expand like a broadcast 10 years ago was 100 times more expensive and harder, right? Like phones weren't what they are. Oh no, it's gonna be a short show.
Oh,
Hopefully not.
no. Uh-oh.
Um,
Is Ben already awake?
yeah, he's already awake.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully he's just flipping around. Um, so I hope it's gonna be, like it was just so much harder for things to happen back then.
Mhm.
From a streaming perspective, which is probably one of the biggest reasons why regionals cost so much, right?
Mhm.
Was the stream. Streams are 10% of what they used to be to do something pretty solid. So I think it's gonna be fine, right? Like it's gonna be good enough. Um, um, and so anyways,
Yeah,
if,
we'll
if
see.
you're if you're even on the fence, buy it, support it. You're gonna get multiple events from it. And if you think the Legends workouts suck, that's fine. You get Magic City too, and we all know those workouts look fucking boss. So do it. All right. Because you're gonna get the same thing. Magic City's in a week. That coverage will cover 2 events. So it's really $15 an event. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that cost definitely is, I would say for most is a lot more like, okay, you're gonna pay that to go see a movie alone, and that's not even, just to get in the door.
Right.
And that's 2 or so hours of entertainment versus
Mhm.
an entire weekend of events. So
Yes.
yeah, that price tag is a lot more manageable, I would say, for most.
This is crazy. This isn't a conversation and topic that I want to talk about right now. But I certainly will talk about that. But it's not even from anyways. All right. Okay.
You see what Gwen said.
So I don't think
That's not entirely the case, but I love it.
it's certainly not the case, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Let's just tune in Monday.
Okay. Well, I will say we have a lot of other things that we can touch on. So if we want to not spend a lot of time there, we can go somewhere else.
No.
Okay.
This is 100%. Dude, we should have a show on what you can write off in the fitness space. Yes. The answer is for sure yes.
Yeah.
This is education and marketing and this could be market research. Easy peasy. Anyways, continue.
Well, where do you want to go next? Because I've got quite a few options. Like, do you want to look at the Magic City programming? I figure that's something you potentially want to do. I've got a lot of different, apparently Greg moved away from MetFix and BSI altogether is what they said on, I think Taylor and
CF Network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. I thought that their conversation specifically on carbohydrates and when they were doing the review, which, like you said, that you've done some shows like that in the past, but they had
almost verbatim the same exact title of the show.
Have you listened to it yet? Because it'd be interesting to compare it. Yeah, they did a good job. They had Seth on there. It was good. But
Kevin, you're dead to me. Can't believe you buy Sentinel programming instead of WODprep. It's unacceptable. All right.
I was so excited to get back home and get back to work on my my WODprep programming. But
your WODprep programming.
Yeah, it's been nice to follow it for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How's it going? What are you doing?
Great. Yeah, it definitely is just it is an increase in volume for sure.
Are you following the template?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I only followed it for a whopping 2 weeks before Vegas. And then I did go, shout out to Camp Rhino, the Northwest location. That's where Gazan trains. And I dropped in there and they were so awesome. So anyway.
Vegas. I was like, why did you go to Camp Rhino?
Yeah. I just went and dropped in there one day. But I went because they clearly state their open gym hours. And so that allowed me to do that. And anyway, it was awesome. From the time I walked in, they immediately were like, yeah, what's your workout today? And made sure that I knew where the class was going to take place and where the space that I could use was and everything. They were really, really like above and beyond hospitable, if you will. So anyway, and it was cool to, so shout out to Camp Rhino.
Nice.
Yeah. Anybody that goes to Vegas, it's worth a drop in for sure. But anyway, yeah. And so I've been following it for a couple weeks. It's been really good. I was curious how my body would adjust. Like I figured there'd be a little bit of an adjustment period to the increase in volume. And I've been like pretty floored that there hasn't been much. Like it's been very tolerant and pretty happy about it. So that's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, Kevin. My man. Handstand push-up power. I love it. That's right. Kevin's been Academy member for like really early. I think he started with double unders early on.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like took that course first.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go into. Yeah, I want to talk about the Magic City workouts.
Okay. They look exciting. Like I think as an athlete, you look at programming and like if you're gonna, in general, like every programmed test is an opportunity to perform, and whether it looks as exciting or not as exciting, it's still an opportunity to showcase your fitness. But definitely looking through these, it's like, man, that's going to be a fun weekend of fitness for them to do and a fun weekend of fitness for us to watch.
Yep.
And that's what we hope for.
All right. So I do think I have this this like thought that I think we are all really stuck in the past because we've seen all these workouts pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're all just really hoping to somehow get back to 2014 to 2019. And so I think this is like sort of a push. With that said, I don't think it's hard to like Froning and them did a really, like their debrief was really good. Oh, did you see my text message last night? Hold on. We're going to pause this. We're just going to pull this. Did you see my text to you and John?
Yeah. I went and watched the clip. I mean, the clip, I went and watched the last little portion.
Doesn't know, the last 3 seconds of the Froning podcast last night, Froning, after everything was done, said, CrossFit has a new CEO, peace. And then it ended, like just the last 3 seconds. And so, I don't know. That was interesting.
I think Scott is really, really smart with all of his clip outs and so on. Like he's always, every time that they have an episode and they do their little sizzle reel, if you will, like they're incredibly wise.
But he didn't put that on the sizzle reel, which was weird because that would be a huge pull for YouTube. Anyhow.
That is interesting. I actually didn't see a reel for this one. I just know that historically when they put they do get the clip outs, they do a good job of finding one or two or more things that are controversial.
So
anyway,
that's what I was going to talk about. Was the clip they pulled was programming versus storytelling versus excitement versus good test, right?
Okay. Yep.
And all three of those are very much like the college triangle: good grades, good social life, good sleep, right? And they pull each other in opposite directions. They don't always mean that each one of those is going to be better, right? A great test doesn't always mean it's exciting. Being exciting doesn't always mean it's a great test, right? And so there is in good storytelling, right? Like like a single workout is not always like a great
spectacle
story. Yeah, it's not a great spectacle. And so right. And so this is like on point. Avera says any more boring, whatever. I
think it could certainly get so much more boring. I'm assuming they will at least advance down the floor and so on. But yes, 600 meters.
I think they leave the venue. They run around. I think they run around the venue on like a track-ish. Yeah, which is great. I love outside. Yep. I think it's gonna be a little warm. I think the weights are adjusted well. So anyways, let's go into it. 600-meter run, 25 overhead squats.
So wait, hold on. But let me ask about that clip that you saw. Did you Did you think that he was being sincere, or did you think he was being playful? In regards to Frowning saying
CEO?
there's a new CEO.
No, I think he was being sincere.
Interesting. Whenever I watched it, I really didn't feel that I could get a strong sense either direction. Like I was like, that didn't seem. What is he? Is he just goofing? But
Right.
be interesting if he wasn't.
It would be for sure. All right, let's talk about Magic City, and then I want to go back to some of their clips from that podcast. Okay, Magic City 600-meter run. I like the run distance. I think 600 meters is definitely no, absolutely not. Their scheduling is an absolute disaster, Kevin. Could Legends surprise the sixth workout? No, 0% is -% chance. They always do one workout on the last day. That's like
And so the athletes are doing 4 tests.
Yeah, well, the over 50s. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I like 600 meters over 400 meters, which is usually what Nancy is. I like that it's outside, and this is it's a good distance. 2,400 meters is there's separation on the run, and there's separation on the squat, and so it's nice to see a couplet that has good balance within it. Can you go unbroken on the barbell, which is a big important, is going unbroken the best way to keep run intensity up, right? Can you make distance up on the run if you're struggling on the squats? Can you make distance up on the squats if you struggle on the run? And so there's good balance across the board here. It's nice and long.
Yeah.
20 minutes is actually not that short. I mean, for the top of the top, they're going to blast through it if the overhead squats are kind of a walk in the park. But
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. The 4 rounds of 25 at 95, 135. Like that's, I mean,
shoulders
it's not
are going to
heavy,
be
but it's a lot of reps. That's 100 of those in that workout.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone else can do math with that, but that's a lot.
Okay, so I like this workout. I like the balance.
Older age group seems a little lighter.
Yeah, here,
I think because it's overhead squat as athletes get older, that becomes a significantly harder movement. So I don't know. I mean, scaling their weight.
Let me see. They put out the whole. Let me see if I can find it. I was looking it up a minute ago.
Jeremy wants to go head to head.
No, I can't do 135. That would crush me. I'll do it at like 95 pounds. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be probably doing 10s, like 10, 8, 7.
Yeah, there's no way I would hold on to that bar the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me then, there was another clip that I sent you that was cool. A conversation with Coach L and.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the overhead squats. 55 plus isn't even doing it. That stinks. I didn't even know that. I just looked at this today, and I guess I don't have a 55 plus athlete that.
Was Terry not doing this?
No.
Is Terry doing Magic City?
Terry's at Legends right now.
That's what I thought. So she's not doing. I'm sorry. I meant doing Legends. Yes, she's doing Legends.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's not doing this workout.
It's on a track. Now, where the event is, there isn't a track. By the way, it's just a
outside the building.
It's a building, and I don't think the track is right there near it, which is cool. So I think it's technically an offsite. We'll just go through here. I guess we can bounce back and forth.
I wonder. You're sure that there's not a track there?
I didn't think there was.
The building looks like it's
well. Possible. It's where the World Games are, but I didn't. I looked at it with an athlete, with an onboarding, and I saw a venue, and then I saw a big field, but I didn't see a track right there.
I feel like I'm pulling this conversation so many different directions where we need to just stay on topic. But yet again, Dan's posted another clip about Dave telling the athletes that like this might be a good spot for the games.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I was like, and they were like, does he know that he's live? I mean, pretty cool. Anyway. Okay, back to this.
All right. Oh, inside. Oh, it is a huge building. Thank you. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. There isn't one there, but that would make sense. Let's see. So 3, 2, 1 on the track, 3 laps, 200 meters. Yep, that's cool. That's so neat. I like that a lot. 200-meter track inside a building is cool. Okay. All right. So next workout is semi-nate, which interestingly enough, Jamie Latimer still said when she reviewed this on
Did she say it was
Clydesdale,
too heavy?
she said it was way too barbell centric. And I was like, well, this is an entirely gymnastics bias workout.
Right.
Solely. Like it's just gymnastics. The dumbbell snatch doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so she looked at the programming as a whole and said it was still too barbell
Yep.
heavy.
And so semi-nate's cool. 2 buildings are side by side. Okay. And anyways, semi-nate, 4-3 ring muscle ups, 7-6 strict handstand push-up, 12 dumbbell snatch. I think for the top of 35, there's not a lot of separation. This is going to be a really, really, really fast sprint. I think it comes down to like who can not hesitate at all on the bar,
anything ever.
on anything.
Transitions, this is your jam.
And then this is a press, like this is press fatigue at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
And so overall, I know another good one. Everyone loves Nate. I think it's generally a decent workout. The only thing that I don't like, I think this number right here, and so this is good for my athlete Amanda, who's in.
Shout out Amanda.
Yep. I think so this is a good question. But I think this probably shouldn't be kipping. I don't think it should be kipping really for any of them. I think they should have had a strict variation because that's pretty much the goal of the workout this like press gymnastics fatigue, but it is what it is. You still have some muscle ups. I think this 40, like this adjustment right here was probably too aggressive. I think like going a double adjustment to 40 to 44. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. Double adjustment to 40 to 44 from 4-3 to 3-2. That's a huge amount of difference. And staying strict is good. This should have stayed strict. This could have stayed it. Like this could have went to 4 strict or something like that. So maybe too much of a scale adjustment for the older athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. And then we wanted to look at this. I don't know. I think as you age, so this was the question, was the adjustment too much for the older individuals? No, I also don't have a problem shifting the focus for older individuals to more aerobic capacity versus top end strength either. Okay. Right. So like, I think that's totally okay. And so while yes, this is a lot lighter, it's still 100 overhead squats, and every overhead squat costs so much more for a 50 to 54-year-old unless you just move impeccable. And to be fair, most of you don't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Especially the guys.
When you say, so is that a thought that you have regarding program design in general, that as an athlete ages, that more focus on aerobic capacity, less on top end strength is generally a good idea? Is that what you're saying? From a
testing perspective?
Not just from a testing, but from a program design day to day in life.
No, because from a training perspective, no, because aerobic capacity comes more naturally as we age, as far as maintenance or even getting a little bit more aerobically able.
Mm-hmm.
But from a testing perspective, I think it's fine to shift it more because every movement demands a little bit more. And so I think it's fine to see those scale adjustments. Like if you keep it heavier, then then I think because the movement quality is just naturally less, it's getting better, right? Like
Right.
as the sport gets older.
Sure.
And so, but for right now, I still think that lighter loads demanding movement efficiency are still good,
Yeah.
right? I still think it's fine. And so I think training strength as an older individual is even more important than pure aerobic capacity, mainly because most of them have good enough aerobic capacity, like overall,
Sure.
and strength just relays better into the sport as it's overall tested. But um, I think testing is okay to lean towards aerobic capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but okay, back to
Makes me think I'm curious with your more senior athletes, do you find that over the course of time, because a lot of times they come in and they like really lack the ability to extend at a joint all the
mhm.
way? Do you find that you're able to get them to reach more extension in, a year or 2 years, whatever?
Well, so funny enough, I find most of my athletes have poor extension just from a exposure perspective. They don't
Uh-huh.
know what they don't know, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, I'm locked out." And I'm like, "No, you're not." And then they're like, "Look," and then they can hyperextend, but like all of their jerks are like this,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
And so for the older individual, no. If they because there's points like speaking of Terry, like Terry's has regressed over the years,
Uh-huh.
because she has like some like
Is it like a calcification
yeah,
type
like
situation?
yeah, it's what we call a hard end feel, right?
Uh-huh.
And so like
Uh-huh.
she's getting a point to where it's like something has happened, right? Whether she has some like free bodies or something like that, but like it's not muscular or pain driven. It's hard, which means it's bony. It's a bony block. And so
Yeah.
it's not something that's overcomable.
And in this case, we're talking about your most senior athlete as well.
Mhm.
So I'm just,
Right.
it's I don't know, because a lot of times those athletes showed up in CrossFit within the past 5 years, if
Mhm.
not within the past 10, but usually within the past five, the ones who are still, who are competing. And in her case, longer than that. But
Right.
anyway, and so I'm just wondering, I'm looking at them going, I wonder if year over year, how many of those athletes are able to regain access to what looks a lot more like true, full
Mhm.
extension, if you will, for the ones that have knees or elbows or whatever that just don't go there at this time. Anyway, total tangent, random.
I love it. I love it.
Because I want them to be
Um,
able to grab it again. I want them to
mhm.
be able to find their way back there if that's what they want, and most of us do.
Um, I agree 100%. And if it's not hard, then, if it's not a hard end feel, then it's possible. But most
Mhm.
of the time, at that age, it's not, you know. But you see someone like Hip and Steel,
Or even
and
Josh Bridges.
yeah, exactly. Well, so I think Josh has something like calcified, like he has like
Yeah,
a continued regression, right?
right.
Um,
I think it's just on
but
one arm too, I
yeah, it
think.
is just on one arm. But I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that just don't focus on getting locked out, and
Mhm.
so
Yeah, well, they don't
um,
even know that they're not. Like you said, they just are not aware.
yes, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Workout 3, the commutes, awesome.
Mhm. This is on a stationary bike, right?
No,
Oh, wonderful. I don't know where I read it and thought it wasn't, and then I thought I saw somewhere that
oh no, yeah, yeah.
okay,
No,
okay.
yeah. This is they're going in and out of the
Ah,
venue.
so fun.
Yep.
What are they
So
on? What type of bike are they on? Do you know?
I think it's like a mountain bike.
Like a gravel bike, or I mean, what is the surface that they're riding on?
It's like they're on like they're just riding around concrete.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
Yeah.
would.
Um,
Hmm.
so it's a mile and a half, right? A mile and a half is, you're looking like, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 minutes on the bike if they're cooking, maybe a little bit longer. Um, and so it will, yeah, what was 7 or 8 minutes means like 12 miles an hour. So maybe a little bit faster. So 5 minutes on
Yeah,
the
if they're
bike.
on concrete, for sure
Yeah.
faster.
Marlin 7. So Trex. Yeah, yeah. So just like, I think that's very similar to the bike they rode in the crit.
Amanda, since you know that, is that a gravel bike or is that a road bike? I'm curious what the tires are on that bike.
It's not a road bike. It's like a trail bike.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so then yeah, maybe they are going that pace.
super cool. 50 burpee box jump over is a pretty good balance. It's still definitely like a burpee workout, right? And then it just kind of gives it's a mountain bike. So
Cool.
the burpee box jump overs are still the predominant of the workout. 15-minute time cap. I think some people are going to get capped that just aren't comfortable on the bike, but I think it's good.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah. This is Amanda's triathlete mindset. No one that's not a triathlete would ever fucking care that a road bike is not a mountain bike, and they would never know the difference unless they just watched Lance Armstrong, right? Like, it is the same for a mile and a half. Like, it is minuscule differences, and we just had this conversation. I just like it's a bike. It's a bike, and it doesn't matter what. It couldn't even have. It might not even have gears.
Those differences do matter.
Huh?
They're on it for a mile and a half, so it's not that big of a deal. But those differences are. I mean, those bikes are different.
Anyways, what's the over under? How many crashes? 7. I think it's high. I think it's pretty high. People falling over. Who is not comfortable? Dude, you'd be surprised how many people haven't ridden a bike in fucking years.
Yeah.
Like until we had Bennett, like there's for sure. So we have this like beach cruiser, right? That's like pink. That's Perrin's, and like I'll ride Bennett. We have a big seat on the back, and I'll ride Bennett around.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first got it, and we got Perrin's bike, I was like, I got on it one day, or the first time I got on, I was like,
sure.
I was like, man, I haven't been on a bike in like years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of people that are not comfortable on a bike, or at least that have no idea how to put effort on a bike.
Yeah. That's funny. That reminds me, unrelated, but of the event that I had to like put stuff in a wheelbarrow and then push it around an obstacle course. And I was like, I haven't touched a wheelbarrow in like 20 years easily.
Yeah. 100%. I love it. I think the numbers are good. It's not too heavy on the bike. And I would say maybe it's a little heavy on the burpee box jump overs. I would bet that they anticipated to have this be a little bit longer. Being on a bicycle, I think I would have, and this is me being really nitpicky, I would have liked to see another bike on the back end of this. Right? Like 50, like 2 rounds, 50, 1.5, 50, 1.5. I think that would have been cool. Finishing on the bike, like actually seeing a race. I think that would have been neat. Other than that, it's cool.
Yeah, I think this one would be cool to see play out because yet again, I mean, yes, it's 100 burpee box jump overs, like knowing your pace, what you can sustain. And like, that's, obviously imperative to this. And that's something that athletes train a ton. So they're very familiar with that. They don't train on this bike. And so I think this will be a fun one to just see play out. Does it really truly come down to just the capacity on those burpee box jump overs? Is the bike substantially challenging or different enough for enough athletes that it actually does shake things up? I don't know. Be interesting. Right. I love it. I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
A lot.
I just want to be clear that I did this workout yesterday and it's fucking hard. This workout is rough. Amanda, cover your ears for 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes.
This workout is...
She's not covering her ears. She's listening to everything you say.
Tough. It sucks. But it's cool. Dude, sandbag lunge on the shoulder.
She's awesome. Gritty.
Weirdly grip crushing. Holding the sandbag is very grip taxing to like hold it on your shoulder. But it's a 70-pound
sandbag too so I mean there's that for the women and 100 for the men.
Correct. Yeah, it's 170. And it's tough. That time cap is super tight. I got through 50 double unders. I didn't even touch the rope. And so, but I was really hesitant on the first 150 bag. I probably, looking back, I definitely could have gone faster there.
On the walking lunge.
Yeah. My 100 was unbroken, was way faster. Getting ready for the end. And I don't think it would have hurt my rope climbs as much. Because my grip was torched, and I just haven't been doing a lot of regular rope climbs. I've only been doing like legless to 13 or 14 feet since my pec tear. And just in general, I'm like not very good at rope climbs overall. I felt way better with a big jump and small grabs instead of reaching really, really high. Really saved my grip in general. but that sandbag lunge is nasty. Like
so that's the sticky point.
yeah. I mean, 5 rope climbs takes a while, but the 150-foot bag is tough.
This looks
And
like a fun workout to do. Can you guys program this in our template, please?
yeah, 100%.
Thanks.
Yeah, perfect. Only like half of 1% of athletes will be able to do it. It'll be great. Because they don't have sandbags or ropes.
It's fine.
But it wouldn't be the yeah. I mean, I thought it was a cool workout, and I was like, oh,
That's why we offer movement modifications for everything.
That's right.
Yes.
So anyways, it's cool, right? And so speaking of John Wood, he's right here. He says this is pretty good. He made a great analogy, and I'll keep using it. It's not Taco Bell, and like the event so far, which I think is a really good idea. Even if this was like dumbbell walking lunges, it wouldn't be. Like I think the pairing is really good of this movement, like double unders to rope climbs to lunging, which I love all 3 of those implements separately. And in this workout, they're all weighted pretty fine. You know, the double under is probably the easiest for every athlete that's most likely going. And the lunge is probably the most nuanced, but the rope climb is probably, I don't know, it's probably not the longest. That 150-foot lunge takes a long time. I was surprised that they didn't drop the rope climb volume like 5-4-3 or something like that. But other than that, I mean, it's cool. It's good. 15 is a good number of rope climbs. Doesn't need to be legless. It's still good where it is as far as the volume. I
like
it. I really like this test across the board. It's going to flow really well because the sandbag's going to go up and down. It's going to end at one side and it's not going to end the other. And it's a walking lunge, but it's like not the worst walking lunge ever to finish a workout, right? It's not their final, which is, thank God, it's not their finale lunges to the end. Where we're starting to program.
2 of 3 are already in.
Huh?
2 of the 3 are already in at that, like of the semifinals that have their workouts out. You know, 2 of the 3 of them. That's that lunge to the end.
I was talking to Kevin, and I was like, we're not fucking putting a lunge because we did last year.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say Coda Iron Games did last year.
And so I was like, we're not doing it. Yeah. We're not doing it. All right. So love it. No, I think all the elites finish it pretty handily. Like 11 minutes.
What do you think about these weights for these athletes?
Oh yeah. I mean, so Gwen was I'm guessing that they so I did this with Amanda and we called it. I said 100 pounds. And so, or I said, do it as heavy as we think we can. I think 100. And so, we did it with 100. And so I think they adjusted it after they saw the indies go.
Yeah. Get bodied by it. Yeah.
And so we should make sure the tiebreak will record it after the completion of each set. Right. So they just have to get through whatever it is if they don't think they can do 12.
Is hers the 115? Sorry. Which one is hers again?
She's 45.
She's the one. Okay. I couldn't remember if she was 44. 45 to 49.
And so I also had a 65-year-old do it at 85 pounds and he did it pretty easily. And I haven't had anyone else do it because everyone's competing. And so I think they're on point. This is pretty good. I wish they would have done. I don't think they needed to adjust it here. This adjustment only happened because the level of athlete
dipped.
Yeah, that level of athlete is really far down for Magic City, and I think they don't want people to just stand around.
Yep.
This is probably too light as well. I think these adjustments here are probably too much. I think here is probably pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then I think here is pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy. But they tried really hard. I'm going to be interested to see. And I think this ends up being fine. But I certainly don't think as many people are going to finish as you saw at
Mayhem.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah,
this one, Dread says, I'm in the 55, 59. I did Gwen at 115. At this level, it should be 135.
Right. I also think I was also thinking total reps as well, not just the last one,
Right.
because then it's like who at least makes the attempt on the last barbell. That's
and
what
how
I
far
thought
do
of
they get?
mayhem too. Like if you got to 8 and failed, then you got to 8. But if someone failed at 6, but they sent it to finish this. You know what I mean? I felt the same thing, that the tiebreak probably could have been a little more clever. But in theory, it's not the set. It's like more of like the whole goal is unbroken. So I understand why it's not at the same time. So yes, JD, it's the same exact format. I assume they're going to move forward. Blah blah blah. This isn't really. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're just in the same spot. I guess everything is in the track, which is cool. I love like doing workouts in the track. All right, last workout. Reloaded, regionals reloaded. I love it. I love this workout. It's one of the most iconic sprints we've ever had, besides maybe like, I don't know, like thick and quick. And
Yeah,
so,
get nice and tired and then do some heavy thrusters.
What happened?
Just like the structure of this,
Oh,
like
yeah.
get nice and tired from your pull-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and
I lost it.
then go pick up a heavy barbell and do some thrusters.
Well, Magic City has. So Vicky said, I would assume that WODprep has the largest. Maybe from a competitive ability standpoint, it's for sure mayhem, and it's not even close. It could even be CompTrain to be truthful, like just from the length of time CompTrain managed most masters and program for most masters. And so, but anyways, competitions don't reach out because of like the sanctity of the test and the secrecy of the test, and they really keep things. Everyone really keeps things pretty close knit. I don't think they feel comfortable reaching out. It would have been also probably not fair to reach out. I mean, what would it have been? A couple extra weeks potentially, but I bet they had some weights, and then they let Mayhem dictate some of their load for sure. I would bet on that. So anyways, I like regionals reloaded. I like the thruster weights for all of the groups. I think the numbers are good. Again, I think it's really hard to, they adjust for every age group. I like adjusting for every age group for something like this. It's very simple. I would almost have liked to see like 6 thrusters and a little bit heavier here, right? I just think of Terry, and I think of like, this is a good number for Rose, but it's still unbroken, and it's probably easier for Rose. But Rose is also arguably the strongest athlete in the age group. And so, we have some athletes that are like in contention to be games athletes, right? And I think of this for Amanda at 115, super heavy, but Amanda's doing, a few reps for sure.
And she's going to crush her pull-ups, which will be nice.
And so,
give her a chance to break
and like her ability to like grind out load under fatigue is really, really solid. So, and then I think of it for Jen, right? Like the thrusters will be easier, but like Jen's pull-ups would struggle. Like, I think it's a good balance overall. I think the 35 to 39 is good. I didn't even realize, I was just thinking, I was like, everyone's not doing 64 pull-ups. I love the pull-up adjustments. I think they're actually really good. Looking at these, I think these numbers are really solid. Great to see this not be 64. I think 50 to 54 just gets shit end of the stick on all scaling for workouts, because they're not 55 yet. They can do the same thing as 35. And it's like, no, they fucking can't. And so I think the scaling adjustments are good. The volume looks really good here. Just again, thinking through my athletes, these numbers are here. This is a weird number. This should probably be 75.
Yeah, the difference there
is a weird number. I don't like that one. But other than that, I think it's good. The numbers look good. I think they made a good adjustments all the way down the board. You know, to assume this probably isn't a thruster workout is silly. You're spending way more time on the pull-ups. Even if you split the thruster into 2 sets, it's still way longer on the pull-ups. And so I think overall it's good. Gwen is a barbell. This is a rope.
But I like that because they're spending more time on the pull-ups, but like they can do the pull-ups, and then after they're fatigued, then getting to the barbell, and they don't have that many reps, but for most of them, it is going to feel heavy, especially after that work. So I think it'll be fun to watch because they're going to get up to that barbell and be tired and have to pick it up. And it's,
they have
not for all, but for many heavy.
They have their sprint. They have their 8 minutes here. A lot of people are going to get capped here. I don't think a lot of people are going to finish even in I think people are going to make mistakes in the younger age group. Most people are going to get capped here. So you have your 12-minute time frame. I think a lot of people are going to get capped here too, especially in the older age groups. I don't think they adjusted the burpee volume, which would be crazy. I assume they did. Yeah, they did. Okay.
How long does it take for an athlete in like the 35 to 39 to do those 100 burpee box jump overs?
They're going like 15 or 16 a minute, maybe even slightly faster at the top end. Like Noah's doing like 17 a minute, so we're looking at like 6 minutes.
Okay.
And so maybe even faster. Whenever I say something, I'm like 10%, so 5:30, right? Like that's just like always what I say, and then I'm like probably a little bit faster,
and
so
10% faster. Faster, yeah.
And so, anyways, okay, that was great. I like them. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. As far as and so here we'll go to. Let me see if I can pull up the Mayhem clip.
Which Mayhem clip? Yeah, that one.
Can you hear it?
No. Oh, I can't even. No, I don't. I can't hear or see anything. Yeah.
AR.
Maybe an hour and a half.
Scott and Ben. We were all just sitting in the conference room, and we just started throwing stuff on a whiteboard, and that was one of the first. We were like 5K.
Well, you and Darren, or you and Austin, had come up with some rough ideas previous to our meeting, and then we kind of riffed off of those.
Yeah.
And threw some out.
I think it was me, Austin, JR, and Darren all kind of had a text thread, and then we threw.
I wanted to.
No one takes into consideration that we are trying to find the best athlete, but we're also trying to put on a show.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put on a show and the event itself doesn't inherently tell a story, then you're missing half of what makes a CrossFit competition good.
Right. And on the other end, you're only testing the same thing over and over, trying to put on a good show and leave some stuff out.
Yeah. Right.
And you have an incomplete test. And so what we're trying to do, obviously, is have a really good test while also putting on a good show, which is inherently difficult.
Yes.
Also fun, right?
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that stuff. It was great to have Austin in there, Darren, JR, and then you guys from the media perspective of like, hey, this is going to fall flat because it's not fun to watch.
No one takes into.
So
what do you know? A team coming together, and it took them a freaking hour to write this.
Right. And so this is where well, to be fair, you had
some of the best minds for this sort of thing.
you have probably the guy who's written the most pure CrossFit workouts ever, which is Rich. Okay. Rich has been solo writing for himself and into Mayhem basically until like 2021 or 2, right? Like just like putting things together on a whiteboard. And then now I don't think he writes a lot of anything anymore, but he did for 10, 15 years, right?
I wonder how many of his own workouts that he still writes. Probably a lot of them.
I think he pieces together. I think he pulls from a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well. And it seems like he really is intuitive with like, what have I not done? What, anyway. Yep.
And then Jeremy and JR, arguably the current competitive programming mind in the space, right? At least the one that cares the most, that doesn't have bias to a camp or style of athlete or anything, right? At least, I would say I would say the most unbiased programming mind there is, right? Because he might have his own personal bias, but no one knows what it is because he doesn't write programming for anyone else, right?
You're talking about JR? Sorry.
I'm talking about JR.
Okay.
And so then you have Scott here, who is looking at a program purely on
Can
the
we tell a
show
story?
and the storyline, which is very unique, because even JR doesn't do that, right?
I would say that he certainly takes that into consideration, but that's not his primary.
Way less.
Yeah, it's not his main
Way
focus.
less. And then you have Austin, who has been in a leadership role in some capacity for 15 years in the CrossFit space.
Yep.
Right. And so it's a unique thing. And it's interesting to hear the statement of, came together in an hour. Right. And I think it's true. Like when Bob and Joe, or when Joe, coming back to this, I don't think Bob is involved at all anymore. I'm fairly confident that it's just Joe.
Like in the programming or anything?
Yeah, at least for this. I think it's only for the games when Bob comes in. Bob has like,
he was there in like photos, so he's there.
Yeah, I don't right. Hiller Hubbard, the whole W. Yeah. Again, very biased, right? Like, doing it in an hour and then not making changes. That the next clip on that exact podcast said that they almost changed the Gwen weight minutes before the workout started. Like even after all the graphics were released. So hold on.
Okay. Yep, I think that was it's really cool. Yeah, I think maybe Amanda Harry. Yeah, I think I watched her video about something and she just kind of noted that, we start the season off with the Mayhem Classic and like it sets a really high bar that then we have to watch the rest of the season unfold and everybody just try to do their best with realistically not the resources that are available there. And so simultaneously so much gratitude for the fact that they choose to do this, and then also acknowledgement of the reality that like most of these other organizations and so on maybe just don't have the same resources. So I say most, I mean a good number of them actually do have really solid resources. So maybe I shouldn't say most. Of course, since it's across the pond, if you will, I don't know that we talk about it quite as much, but like Torian Pro, I mean, if there's an event that's out of the country that I like would love to be experienced, Torian Pro looks remarkable every year. So anyway.
I agree. And so this is possible when you have a team and you're not trying to do it solo. And I think that just is the testament of itself, is like when you're doing it by yourself, you get blinded to things. And yeah,
well, and also how many hats are you wearing? I think that's another part of that as well, is when you're doing the program design and so many other things, how much of a priority is the program design? I don't know.
Yeah. Hiller, Bob and Joe have a history of making athletes upset. But to be fair, so and I like Bob and Joe, right? Like Hiller, like I think you guys have like a sour taste because you guys went head to head, whatever, a couple years ago.
Them and Hiller.
I think they mean very well. Like they've bootstrapped it, they've funded it out of their own pocket for years. And Legends is, like Legends Championship, like the workouts in December they were great. I mean, I don't want to say they were great. They were definitely better than the games. And so they put on a lot of good events over the years. And so I don't think that's a fully fair statement. Now, I think this test in this weekend is not shaping up to be anything like what I've seen them be able to put on. And so that stinks, right? But I think we'll see who qualifies and does all the things. Yeah. I mean, I like Joe a lot, right? But anyways, all right, let's move on. So,
oh yeah, that's a great point. Kevin says, did you guys watch Fraser with the boys interrupted? I was pleasantly surprised how good it was. Totally. Yeah.
Did you watch it? Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was really nice. I think that someone's comment was something to the effect of that it was kind of like a therapeutic experience for Hopper and Matt, but you can see they've clearly had communication, maybe
I
not.
didn't even put my brain didn't
Even put that together.
those two together at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. It was, and they really did, of
Yeah.
course. A lot of the like compliments and so on in the comments were about how good Justin is as an interviewer, and he did a great job. But the other guys also asked great questions and pressed in. And so anyway, it was really, really nice because they went through, they talked about the Rogan episode. They talked about him recently, whatever the little clip that came from him being at the zoo whenever they wanted to talk. And he was like, he just straight up, he just cleared the air, if you will, and was like, well, I was at the zoo with my kids and I'm not going to be the commentator that's going to talk about something that I don't know about. Like, don't you hate when people do that? And I don't even know these workouts, and I'm not done. Like, I'm at the zoo with my kids, And so anyway, it was nice to, I think he has in a lot of circles gotten a bad rap for a number of different reasons over the past few years. And anyway, I thought it was very refreshing to hear from him, because anybody who ever has any experiences with him in person seems to have wildly positive experiences. Like, I don't know anyone who's had an interaction with him in person that's been even remotely poor. And obviously he literally owns an affiliate, and does own a company that this is what they do. So, and any of the time, he just did a Q&A on his own channel as well that was so good. Every time that he speaks, it's quite interesting to listen to. So anyway, it was great.
I agree. Right. I do think he's gotten a bad rap. And, one of my best friends, Carlos, works for them. And so, he's a pretty good judge of character. And he's kind of a dickhead, and he's pretty quick to call people out if he doesn't agree with what they're saying at all or anything. And so he has nothing but, great things to say about that whole camp and everyone there. So I'm always, I don't know any of them personally. I've never had a conversation with anyone there. It does seem that their goal is to give fitness to the most people. That's always, he said that from the very beginning. And I think that's great. You don't have to be in the competitive space to be part of the community,
Yeah.
So.
Can I borrow your rose-colored glasses? Oh, I love peering at life through them.
Okay. I think the only thing that tickled me in that, so I watched half of it, but the thing he said was when he quit, the next 3 years didn't change. He was just
as far as just head down work.
Yeah. But if you talk to him then, he said the exact opposite. He was like, yeah, it kind of I had meetings and stuff, but it was totally different. But I feel like he kind of always I don't know, just amplifies it just a little. I feel like as soon as he quit, there was a massive shift, and O'Keefe pretty much took over and was just pushing it forward. Now he was the face, obviously, and getting Podium off the ground and getting it off the ground too. But I can't imagine that he was very much forward facing at any point.
But how much was he doing behind the scenes? We don't know.
Yeah.
He is a dude that seems to love to work hard in some way. So I don't know. You're not the forward-facing character at WODprep, but you certainly are working nonstop, always. And most people probably wouldn't know that.
Do most people not know that? That's good. I don't want anyone to know my extremely.
I think people who are close enough to you become very aware of it, but broadly, no, because you're very behind the scenes.
Fair. All right. That's a microaggression.
I don't know what that means. What?
Me either. I don't even know. I don't know what anything's here. All right. Okay. Next. What was next?
I thought that the clip that I sent you, the timestamp from the journal review last night, was really good. I thought that Taylor made some great points. Are you pulling that one up?
It shouldn't be random or recycled.
All right. Dates.
Like dates.
Oh, dude, I think of course they would be. And here's the crazy thing about it. The argument always stems back to, it always leads back to this. Any scientist, any nutritionist who speaks on the subject, you can eat enough carbs with a whole food diet, but it's really freaking hard. It's really freaking hard. Okay, so fucking what? A 300-pound snatch is hard, bitch. Yeah. A fucking sub 5-minute mile is hard, bitch. Of course it's hard. That doesn't make it wrong. That doesn't make it, oh, it's hard, so I shouldn't do it. Oh, it's hard, so let me just drink Coke instead. No, maybe if you want to be the best of the best. Even Fraser talks about this. He's like, hey, I realized I couldn't out-train a bad diet. I stopped eating the fucking Ben & Jerry's every night. And I said, hey, Sammy, start a fucking nutrition Instagram and make me good food every day. And his wife did her thing, and then he
That's hyperbolic. Well, everything Taylor says is hyperbolic, obviously. But to say that again, this is like Fraser's also like very open that like he consumes a copious amount of Snickers when he competes.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, right.
So, you know,
grain of salt with that, but yeah, keep going.
Never walked the earth. So of course, I mean that's my take. I'm also eating for my a lot of my carbohydrates now. I'm eating dried figs. I love dried figs.
So from that take, I might be leaping here, but it feels like to me that you would say that just going straight to the sugar, not only is it unhealthy, but it's almost like cutting corners in terms of your training to get to the point you want to get to. It's just cutting corners. Yeah.
100% it's cutting corners. Hey, if you want to be at this level, there are ways to get in the volume of carbohydrates that you need to eat without eating processed, refined, added sugar, high fructose corn syrup, this and that. There are other ways you can do it. What are some of those ways, you may ask? Okay, rice, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes.
yes. I think there's. Let's just finish. I guess
dried fruit.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but
dried fruit, but like no added sugar, dates, figs, dried mango, no added sugar, dried mango. What are some other ways?
There's plenty of starchy foods. Different. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's so many. Yeah.
Well, I think at the bottom of that article, it just referenced to like, I think that they were saying, you know, this whole like we hate sugar is not necessarily true. Now it's where are you getting it from? And is it high glycemic and things like that was kind of more of the focus than like they were saying, we never said carbs are bad. And if you look at this article, it even recommends that I think it was like something like 40% of your daily intake come from that macronutrient source, I think, of your daily calorie intake. Does that sound right?
Say that one more time. I was very confused on the.
I think that the article said something about like 40% of your daily caloric intake coming from that macronutrient.
Oh yeah, from this article, yeah, it's 40, 40, 30.
Yeah.
40,
so yeah, 40,
and then
30, 30. And it was just nice because they talked about, you know, and yet again, I just think, you know, it's like, well, there's always so much more to offer in a whole food source, you know, and so they mentioned like dates, which of course are a higher sugar content, whatever, but they also offer all sorts of vitamins and minerals. And of course, fiber comes in these different like real foods. And so anyway, I just thought it was interesting to look at whether it was, you know, they referenced dried mangoes, dried figs, sweet potatoes and russet potatoes. And if you look at each one of these different foods, whether it's potassium, magnesium, calcium, vitamin C, K, you know, there's just all sorts of other things that are available in these foods that get missed over in the highly processed options. And so anyway, I just thought it was really cool that he was like, yeah, so what, it's hard. Like we do all sorts of hard things all the time.
Right.
So anyway, I'm not over here saying, oh, I'm telling what a games athlete should do. No, I'm not saying what anybody should do, but I always can't help but appreciate whenever attention is drawn to the reality that whole foods offer so much more than just a macronutrient. There's so much more going on within that food item.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, that's all. Okay, thanks for letting me have my bit. We can move on. Back to the sport of fitness.
Did you want to bring up Elle's thing?
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, sure.
Well,
I like their colors. I like their, what happened here? Oh, this one. We're at 30 minutes.
It was one of my favorite events in a very, very long time because
hate it.
Because
that all he said? He
like
doesn't
we're
expand
saying,
on
it's
it?
not often
Yeah, it takes a while to get back to him, but yeah.
competition,
Oh.
high level CrossFit competition. Every expect Gwen should
I don't care who this guy is. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't care what he has to
high
say.
level or
I think what
person
Jake
would
says,
play
we
a
could
different
stop off
way,
there.
or it would have happened.
But I think
There we go.
Better. That was exactly my point. Yeah.
In CrossFit anymore.
Did we miss
I
Jake?
just put that much better. That was exactly my point. Yeah.
But I think
It's fine.
Gwen is like a result of how people train now. No one does touch and go anything. People do singles. Like the way the mentality around the sport has been. I think before people thought the harder I go, the fitter I will get, right? And that has kind of like changed. And now the thought process is, how do I do all of this work using the least amount of energy, right? So like in training, people aren't going touch and go. Like I don't see many Instagram videos of people sitting there going touch. Like I see people do a lot of singles. I see people being very methodical with the way they train. You don't see a ton of intensity. Even programming a piece where someone has to rest 45 seconds in the middle of like a metcon, like you don't see that often. So I think that's just a result of the way people train. And I guarantee you, if we program Gwen next year, everyone's 30 seconds faster, because it's like the programming kind of dictates how people train. And now that it's been programmed, you're going to see a lot more people go touch and go and trying to do those types of workouts where they're forced to do a certain amount of work. It's the same as I think they did Jackie Pro and they had to row a certain speed, right? And people can just go, I'm just going to stay at a sub-threshold pace and then crush the thrusters and bar muscle ups. And people actually had to like row hard or harder than they wanted to, just to stay in the game.
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't understand. He didn't fucking say anything.
Oh, I think he said was that he didn't like it because program design of competitions dictates how the athletes train. And so the athletes have not been training this touch and go thing in quite some time. And so this definitely was like a shock to the system because it's not something they've been training. So
which is the craziest fucking thing to try to justify. That's why you don't like it.
Okay.
I just don't like, oh, wow. Oh, they had to like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why that determination is like, why you wouldn't like it.
Do you think he just doesn't like it because his athletes potentially are not prepared for it as much as they're prepared for so many other things?
That's
right.
That's what it sounds like, which is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I mean, I say they aren't prepared for it. I think that Sprague went and did it and did just fine, you know, so,
yeah.
But they don't train it, right? Like they more commonly, they are focused on like what sounded like he was saying to me is they are focused on using the least energy possible, which makes sense, right? From a competitive perspective to conserve energy and only use it, you know, as much as you need to. Right.
Yeah.
But that is what that sounded like to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree.
Yeah.
Tristan. I think in this notion, he did sound bitter for sure. You forcing unbroken sets inherently reduces intensity. It's a twist, but it's not like something that should be done all the time. I think if you had everyone do, so if you're just basing intensity on total time to complete it, obviously I think like, work is more with singles, but I don't think intensity is, because I think muscular endurance, I don't think so. I mean, I do understand, because that's the physics equation, but have them do 36 for time and then have them do Gwen. Yes, I agree. And so while I understand, yes, from a physics math equation, it is work and time, right? But I think the fatigue component, and so since that amount of intent, like the fatigue from it is going to be way more, how can we say the intensity is lower? Now I know it says it is, and so this is where like verbiage and words are nuanced, right? Like, yes, intensity from a definitional standpoint is higher, but if fatigue is lower but intensity is higher, then how can we actually say, like, how can we justify that statement? You know what I mean? I guess local intensity muscular endurance, right? It's like doing a bodybuilding set of 12 versus moving more weight for 4. Like the muscular fatigue and that might even be higher than like just a power set or something like that, even though technically the work is lower. It's an interesting one. Yeah, but Tristan's talking just on a mathematical equation, and the mathematical equation, because it's way slower than if they were just to do 36 for time, technically intensity is lower. And so it's just an interesting way to put it. It's accurate fundamentally, but subjectively it's not even close to accurate, right? So anyways,
and as soon as I said his athletes, you know, I also like, and I think all of us, right? Like I can't tell you the last time that I did a workout where there was good chunks of barbell work that I didn't immediately go, yeah, I'm going to break that up strategically. You know what I mean? Like that's just how we train.
Mm-hmm.
We don't train holding. I don't know. At least most of us don't. I certainly break early and often, if you will, you know? So that would be a really interesting test to do. See what that even feels like. Can't tell you the last time I tried to do anything like that. Would have been years ago.
I don't know. Tristan, what do you think? Do we like, in theory, because there's way more distance moved, but I don't think you count distance on like moving with gravity either. So I don't think distance can be assessed in that point if it's going like both ways. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't know.
Are you talking about Lito's question?
Yeah, Lito's question. Isn't it more work when you touch and go? Because you're adding the negative. It's not really a negative, right? Because gravity's assisting you on the way down. So maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to talk to a physicist. Like you'd have to talk to a physicist to like, hey, just run the numbers. Like
yeah, but it's still tension. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, it is. It's gravity tension, but it is. You'd have to run the math.
You experience more fatigue when you do that, don't you? Like, can't you tell in your own physical experience? Like you did some type of an unbroken workout the other day where you were like, oh,
yeah, for sure. Yes. But I wasn't, but you know,
yes.
I don't think it's as black and white as yes. I think it's really close. They do singles with grace because they can't go unbroken fully, and then they just end up resting and waiting longer. But it's still loaded. Yeah, I don't know. This is a fun question. I don't know. We could for sure. Yeah, chat GPT it and let me know.
I think it experientially is more challenging.
For sure, but that doesn't. But like we're talking about, like does the equation show that there's actually more intensity, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to. It can. It does exercise phys. I have the most exercise phys education of anyone here, and I don't know if we went over the physics behind eccentric loading, in biomechanics. I wonder if I could message. I have like one of my buddies is a PhD in biomechanics. I wonder if he could do the math.
Have him do the math and we can loop back to it.
Yeah, I think I will. He's going to be pissed because he wants to golf with me. And I'm like, hey, I need you to do this thing. Anywho, all right.
Tristan says experientially, Tabata air squats with BFR blood flow restriction is harder than Fran, but probably less power output.
Yep. All right. Bennett's crying. I got to run.
Oh, I can hear him.
Yep. So we just started. He lasted way longer than I thought.
I'm shocked. Yeah, that was, we got through like the bulk of what we wanted to get through, which is awesome. And you let me have my little tangent.
Yep.
And I bring that tangent up because I'm talking to the general CrossFitter. I'm not talking about the top of I'm talking about like the rest of us. Like we have to take these things in consideration with food. And so I'm going to keep bringing it up. Anyway, thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys so much. That was fun. That was a good show. A lot of people here. If you're on the fence on buying Flow Elite, do it. It's fine. Whatever. If it sucks, you bought it, you supported. They're gonna do what sounds like Magic City, another competition, NorCal, no, and for sure they said there's 3 competitions in the games, and then they so far they have Masters games, so might be worth it to have it. I'll buy it when I get home from dropping Bennett off at school, and so yeah, support it. It's, even though we hate it, the more support, and I'll keep saying this during the season, even if you disagree with what's going on or whatever, Magic City, NorCal, Masters games. Oh yeah. And Legends. So that's huge. It's a lot of stuff. And so someone must have bought Flow Elite. That's my thought. Someone bought it. An investor bought it. An investor bought it, and then they're trying to create some stuff there. All right. I don't know. No, they're not. I don't think so. No, they're just I don't actually know what's happening. I don't quite understand how Sevon and them are there, but it's going to be on Flow Elite.
It sounds like they're going to be running the Flow Elite. Like that's what they're running, right?
Oh, maybe Sevon bought Flow Elite.
I was going to say, do you think he bought it?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't see that,
no,
but
no. I mean,
especially
dude does have a lot of money. So,
and with Dence's saying she agrees with Hiller on that, it's like seems like there's some confusion going on, but whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We'll know soon enough.
Yep. All right. Okay, guys.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.